The Darth Retro podcast is brought to you by the letter T. Uh, T, the letter. Okay, so I don't get good sponsors these days. Who doesn't? Haha. The Darth Retro podcast is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on intelligent subjects, but mostly just sports, music, and life. And now, here is your adorable host, Tom Wagner. And welcome back to the podcast, and this is the Darth Retro podcast. I'm taping this on a pretty sunny Tuesday afternoon. I'm taping this on October 2nd of the year 2012, or 2012, if you like to call it that way. It's pretty much right in the middle of probably one of my favorite months of the year, which is October. You know, the whole NFL season is going on right now. And then Major League Baseball gets started with their playoffs, and then normally you get the NHL to start their season, but unfortunately the National Hockey League is currently in a lockout, which is definitely not good for them. But and then you have NBA preseason basketball just right around the corner in a couple weeks. So it's definitely definitely a very exciting month. Other than November, which is my birth month, November is still my favorite month of the whole year. But then it'll be October, then probably March because of March Madness and stuff. But anyway. So got a little bit of a good episode coming up for you all. This is episode 12, shockingly. I've been doing this for just over about 3 months, almost. So it's pretty exciting stuff. So, for this episode topics, I will be talking about some NFL Week 4. Just doing a little bit of a recap on that, the week that was, as well as a little bit of a non-sports topic. And since last episode was I was talking about my relationship with my father, talk a little bit about my relationship with my mother, and so how special that is. So. And then have a little bit of a treat for you all. I'm gonna be talking to a guest on a little bit later on. But let's get started. And so the fourth week of the NFL season is finished. So let's just do a little bit of a recap of the week that was in the National Football League, and basically a little bit about everything. Some close games, some blowouts. Actually, just only a couple blowouts, but a little bit of some shutouts. Actually, just one shutout, but yeah, it was a pretty intense week. Football. Definitely a lot more close games than I thought there would be, since last season was kind of the year of the offense, and basically I think this season's now a little bit more back down to earth, I suppose. But one thing that I kind of noticed was how shockingly that the Detroit Lions are 1-3 so far in the season. And they played the Vikings in the Lions' home field in Ford Field. And it shocked me how bad the Lions special teams looked at that game. I mean, they gave up a huge kickoff return for a touchdown, and then they got lit again by a punt return for a touchdown. So, so you got really kind of have the question, what's wrong with the Lions? And I don't know. I pictured the Lions to be a better team coming into this season, but good Lord. I mean, 1-3 is not definitely not good, but certainly not horrible, I suppose. But Matthew Stafford basically threw 30 passes for, or 51 threw 51 passes for only 3 completions, and basically the whole Lions rushing attack has been pretty limited so far in this season. I mean, only 13 rushes for Mikel LeSure. It's odd, but for the Vikings, I mean, it was a good day for Adrian Peterson, who notched a 100-yard rushing game for the Vikes, and Ponder didn't really. It wasn't impressive. I mean, he had 16 completions for 26 attempted passes for only 111 yards. So, I don't know. It was decent, but I suppose. But so going back to my question was, what's wrong with Detroit? I think there's not really that much of a balance, and basically the Lions' defense has been pretty much exposed. For what it is, and I don't know. I think maybe last season is probably a big fluke or something, but maybe it was just one of those one-year wonders that that Lions fans could ever get from. And oh well, at least they got to the playoffs, I suppose. But yeah. Another impressive game was how bad the Cowboys looked last night, or more specifically, Tony Romo. Now, when Romo came to the Cowboys in 2006, I never believed that he was a good quarterback, but I mean, he had his moments and such, but it was odd. But I mean, for Romo to throw 5 interceptions that game last night, it just blew my mind how bad he looked. I mean, it was against the Bears, for crying out loud, and Jay Cutler looked like Tony Romo, and Tony Romo looked like Jay Cutler. If you want to draw any sorts of comparisons to that, but and the Bears won that game by a pretty big margin, about 16 points, and it was impressive win for the Bears. But so I picked going to another game. I picked Arizona to beat the Dolphins, and the Dolphins almost pulled it out. To to challenge a Cardinals team like that in their home field and to go into overtime in that game and almost beat them. I mean, it's mind blowing, But of course, I had the Cardinals to win that game, and I was pretty nervous, I suppose. But and for this week's picks, I actually had a better week than I did last week, the past 2 weeks, I suppose. But let's see, I picked the Ravens. Picked the Packers to beat the Saints. That was actually a good game too. Unfortunately, the refs, the real refs, I don't know. Maybe Jeff Triplett was having a little bit of just trying to shake off some rust, I suppose. But see, then Atlanta won against the Panthers. I had New England against Buffalo. I won that. So it's 4-0, I suppose, right now. I picked the Vikings to beat the Lions, and the Vikings won. I picked the Chargers to beat the Chiefs. So it's starting to look pretty good, I suppose. It's 6-0. And I picked the 49ers to whoop on the Jets, and pretty much the 49ers pretty much whooped the Jets' asses, as Rexy Ryan would say. So it's 7-0 for right now. And I picked the Seahawks to beat the Rams. Unfortunately, the Rams won that game, so it's 7-1. I picked Arizona, as I mentioned before, to beat the Dolphins, and Arizona won by 3. A game that I somewhat missed was, forgot to pick, was the Raiders and the Broncos. So I basically didn't give myself win or loss, but I gave it to basically gave it kind of a tie, I suppose, as you can say. But so I am 8-1-1 right now, and I picked the Buccaneers to beat Washington. Unfortunately, the Redskins won that game, so it's 8-2-1. And I had the Giants winning against the Eagles. Unfortunately, the Eagles beat that game, won that game. So it's 8-3-1, I think. So, and then I picked Houston to beat Tennessee, and the Texans are 4-0 so far, though. They're only unbeaten in the AFC, I believe. So it's 9-3-1, and I picked the Bengals to beat the Jaguars, and that would be 10-3-1, I believe. And the Cowboys, I picked the Bears to beat the Cowboys last night. So I end up getting, let's see, I would be about 11-3-1, because Indianapolis and the Steelers had a bye week, so there was only about 15 games played this week. So definitely a pretty good week for me. I was pretty happy about it. So of course the Jets looked awful, absolutely awful. Like, I mean, Mark Sanchez. I'll say this once and I'll say this again. USC quarterbacks that go into the pros are overrated. They're overrated. Carson Palmer. Where is he at? Oh, he's with the Raiders. Let's see. Matt Leinart. Where is Matt Leinart anyway? Is he somewhere around that field on a football team anymore? Is he? I don't know, but Mark Sanchez. Where's he at? Oh yeah, he's a okay starter, I suppose. I mean, he did have two good seasons, but yeah, definitely not looking too good for the Jets at this point in the season. So if you ask me, would you bench Mark Sanchez? And I would say yes, definitely. I would do that. But would I put in Tim Tebow in? No. I mean Tebow had a below average season. He completed about less than half of his passes, and he got lucky against the Steelers in the last playoffs this year. So he got lucky, So I would give Greg McElroy, who's the number 3 starter for the Jets, a chance. Why not give him a chance? I mean, he's probably more of a leader than the first 2 quarterback starters. So why not? Why not give Greg McElroy a chance? So, in terms of this topic, I'm pretty much done with it. So I will continue on the next subject. So if you watched the last episode, I was talking about my relationship with my father. So for this week's episode, I will be talking about a relationship with my mother. So, basically from the day that I was born, which is November 15th of the year 1988. That was the date I was born, and from that point on, I've been pretty much known my mother since that time. Basically, to talk about my mother, my mother is basically the epitome of amazing. She's awesome. She's caring, loving, strong, wise, funny. She's hardworking. She's just basically everything. She's basically everything that you could probably ever ask for in a mother. And basically, when my father died from a heart attack in the winter of 2000, she basically has been both kind of more of the mother figure as well as somewhat of father figure, I suppose. But to me, I mean, a lot of people praise her for teaching. I mean, people ask her, how do you do it? How can you basically have such a good house, such a good son and all? But
I think my take on it is that my mother does her own thing. I mean, she does what she wants to do. She how do I say this? She basically lives her dream. She wants what she wants to do is what she wants to do, and um, as for me, as the son, to grow up without a father through puberty, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of had to learn that for myself. You know, I mean, I had to. I didn't really have a father to guide me through the finer things in life. So, my mother was supportive. So my mother was supportive of me. She was open to letting me do my thing, and I was open to letting her do her thing. And basically the whole structure of my relationship with her is that we're supportive of each other. We will lend each other a hand if one another needs it. So we have a pretty strong relationship in terms of that. I mean, it's not perfect in any way, shape, or form of that, but I mean, if the chance came that if my mother wanted to remarry, I mean, I would let her do it anyway, because I want to see her happy, and if she doesn't want to marry and just be happy as a clam, then I will support that decision. But she's basically, when she came here to Fargo in the 70s, she basically had something, but she definitely worked very hard to get where she is at right now, and I have definite respect for that. So, and she basically worked her way from the ground up to basically becoming an employee for NDSU, and that's pretty awesome. It's awesome to see what she's become. She's great. I don't know what else can I say about her. She's do I worry about her sometimes? If there's like a certain situation or something like that. Sure, I'm definitely worried about that. She's basically my only family that I do have within the confines of an hour's distance. I mean, she's my only family that I do have right now, and I do worry about it. Sometimes. I mean, like just about any other child that worries about their mother, or parent or something like that. But my father's death kind of really woke me up to know that basically a person's life can be taken away from you any second time or day, and basically kind of the latest moment that happened was the workplace that my mother works at, which is North Dakota State University here in Fargo. They had a bomb scare or bomb threat. So so basically the whole university kind of went into lockdown. Basically, the whole university told its students, staff, etc., to evacuate campus or to leave campus until the bomb threat uh, was uh, was taken care of. Which I don't believe there was a bomb anyway. But so the division my mother works in is she works for the police department. Though she basically works for the safety division in the university. She's kind of basically the job title is administrative assistant, if I remember right. But essentially, what she does is work with computers. She works with kind of the media, I suppose, and when the whole bomb scare was going on, I was kind of wondering why she hasn't, because she didn't come home because of that. So I was kind of curious about what was going on, and then I realized, well, where she's at right now, I'm pretty sure she knows what she's doing. She's been trained to the highest regard of to handle a situation like this, and basically what she was doing was taking phone calls from. She was basically taking phone calls from news affiliates from here to here in Fargo to basically affiliates from New York, LA. Basically, the whole country was involved with carrying the news story that one of the most prestigious universities in the Midwest, which is NDSU, was having a bomb scare. And also the University of Texas in Austin also had a bomb scare as well. So there was, I wouldn't say that there was a connection between the two, but it was kind of interesting because NDSU's bomb scare was going on at the same time as University of Texas and Austin's bomb scare was going on. So it was very interesting. So actually, for a short time, NDSU was basically was trending on Twitter. So when I looked at it, and it was basically showing tweets from NBC affiliates with the link to our own NBC affiliate, which is KVLY. And you saw probably a whole bunch of NBC affiliates from like New York or Miami or San Francisco and all that stuff. But it was I took the situation pretty seriously, like pretty much anyone else would, and it was very. So to know that my mother wasn't at home at that time to be safe from that threat wasn't too surprising because she knows what she's doing. So I wasn't too worried about it. So I was concerned, but not panicking, as such. But so when I mentioned on Facebook that NDSU had a bomb threat, so I mentioned that my mother was a NDSU employee, and basically only one person liked it. So mentioned liked it on Facebook, and it was a girl. So I definitely appreciated that much of a concern, unfortunately. So, anyway, in terms of relationship with my mother, it's It's probably one of the best that I have in terms of people that I know. It's probably the most strongest that I have. I mean, relationship with mother to son is it's pretty special. It's very special indeed. Um, but yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing with a capital A. So, in terms of this topic, I'm pretty much done with that. So let's continue on with the third topic. So I have a little bit more of a treat for my listeners to this podcast, that I do have a special guest here on the podcast, and he's been on the podcast before, but for those who haven't know about him, we're pretty tight. We're pretty tight buddies and our bros. He is the former governor of California. He is the former Mr. Olympia. He is also the former. He is also currently a movie star. He is a very big movie star, and he is the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger. How are you doing, Mr. Former Governor?
Oh yeah. I'm doing very good, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very, very well. But thank you, Arnold. So how is life going on for you right now?
Oh, it's very good. Yeah, it's I love my life right now. It's I'm doing so many movies right now. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's it's I can't complain all that much. It's I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. It's
So so um so now so I'm pretty sure you've heard about the whole Phil about the whole Mr. Olympia thing that took place about a couple of days ago. And what's your take on that? So, what's your take on that?
um it's what I saw from it was um I was pretty glad about I'm happy for health Phil Heath, but um I wanted to get the I wanted to regain the comeback. I wanted to beat them all, and so why didn't I make a comeback? I wanted to, but I was too busy doing movies, talking about politics, and it's like
So, so when you heard about Phil winning that, um, Phil winning the Mr. Olympia title, what was your thought on it?
um I think Phil's a great guy. I mean, he's super buff. He looks like he could take me down in a minute. Yeah, it's really impressive. It's a very great accomplishment for a person like him to do that. So yeah.
Um, I have a friend whose name is Sean, who's a very big fan of yours. Uh,
but he was cheering on Phil Heath to win this past Mr. Olympia. What was your take on that? What do you think about that? I suppose, but I should have meant.
I like good fans. You know, I just want to say, Sean, you rock, man, yeah. It's you know, is Sean a pretty big fan of my movies? Yeah.
Um, I suppose he is, but he's seen quite a few of your YouTube clips of when you did a interview for the Late Show with Craig Ferguson on CBS.
Oh yeah. Craig is a great guy. You know, he's a super funny guy. I love him, but you know, there is no other person like him, but who is more funny than me. Yeah. So yeah, Craig is a great guy. But going back to my question, Tom, has Sean seen any of my movies? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you about.
I think he has. I think he has. I think he has seen Predator, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure he's seen quite a few more of your movies. I think he's a pretty big fan of the Expendables too. Actually, I meant the first two, I suppose, but I still haven't seen the first Expendables or the second one, so I'm sorry. I should really get on that, Arnold, but
Oh, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Tom? Sean, go kick his ass, yeah. Go kick Tom's ass. Do it right now. Do it now. you know, Sean. You know, you should have seen the Kindergarten Cop. It's one of my favorite movies that I've ever done. But also see Twins. Twins is awesome too. So yeah. Yeah.
So you're still a Chargers fan, right?
Yep. I'm still a Chargers fan, even though Philip Rivers is nowhere good as a quarterback as I would be as a Chargers quarterback. Yeah.
What's your take on the whole Chargers season so far? What do you think about that? What do you think on the Chargers?
The Chargers, I can't complain all that much. I mean, they're leading the division right now in 3-1. They beat the lonesome Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. In front of Arrowhead Stadium. They got beat up pretty bad against the Falcons. And I can't complain all that much about the Chargers season. We have a pretty tough game against the Saints, and against the former Chargers quarterback Drew Brees. Breathe, man, breathe. Anyway, I think we have. That game's going to be a very, very difficult game for us to be in. I mean, it's in the Superdome in New Orleans, yeah, and it's also a Sunday night game, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It could be pretty interesting stuff to see how Philip Rivers handles that game as well as play against the quarterback who he replaced in San Diego. So So it could be interesting stuff. Could be a good game too. What do you think about the Broncos? How their season is going?
Oh, I hate the Broncos. I can't stand the fact that that Peyton Manning would go to the Broncos when he could go to the Chargers. Great weather, great city, great fan like me, yeah. But I think it was a good decision for Peyton to come to Denver so that my Chargers could make him eat grass all day, yeah, 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 yeah.
So wait. You mean the Chargers defense would make Peyton Manning eat grass by sacking him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tom. That he would eat grass on the field. Yeah. um, I think it was a good decision for Peyton. To leave Indianapolis, the place that he was a quarterback for at least 13 years, and to have so many good seasons like that, and to go to a team like the Broncos. The Broncos were a really good team as well, even before Peyton Manning came to the Broncos. And I know it's good. It's going to be exciting to see how good he can be against the Chargers, which I predict a 20-point blowout by the Chargers. Not this week, but next week, and week 6, I think.
So yeah, I think Peyton Manning did have a good decision. He needed a fresh start. The Colts didn't want him. Didn't want him anymore. They figured that if he was going to get injured, he would basically be the end for him and his career. But I think basically going to a new place will give him a little bit some fresh air, new start, new city. But it's going to be interesting to see how well he does.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting how the division will play out. I think our divisions are better now that Peyton Manning is part of the Broncos. The Raiders are the Raiders. The Chiefs were supposed to be a good team, but they're 1-3 this season, so I laugh at them. And then you have the Broncos with Peyton Manning, and then you have the Chargers, who are leading the division right now, very quietly so far in the season. So definitely takes off a little bit some of the pressure against for the Chargers, I suppose. Now that Peyton Manning's getting all this attention, and it's but I'm very excited for the Chargers this season.
Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have any more questions for you. Would you be interested in learning and hearing about some weird news for this week? Would you be interested in sticking around for that?
Oh, sure. I have plenty of time. I could be going into the gym right now, but I. So I wouldn't be too busy right now, but I'm pretty free for about another hour, I suppose. I'm still trying to get into the comeback against Phillies. I'm ready to get off.
Slow down there, cowboy. But let's see. Trying to think of some that would be very interesting. Here's a story that about the Onion, the Onion.com, right, Arnold?
Yes, I do go on that website as well. They're definitely a lot more factual than Fox News. Yeah. um, um, what's the story, Tom?
Well, this weird news story is very interesting. The title is Iran apologizes for citing Onion spoof Obama poll as fact. Are you a fan of Obama?
No, he's a Democrat and I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican because Republicans are strong. But anyway, go back to the story, Tom. I'll comment on it later.
Anyway, this story is by Alistair Jameson of NBC News, and here it goes. An Iranian news agency issued a bizarre apology on Monday for citing the spoof story about President Barack Obama from satirical newspaper The Onion as fact. Fars, the state-backed news source linked to the Islamic Revolution's Guard Corps, admitted mistakenly republishing an article that claimed real Americans preferred Iranian President Mohammed Ahmadinejad, sorry about that, to Obama. The spoof article mentioned supposed opinion polls finding that 77% of real Caucasian voters would rather go to a baseball game than have a beer with Ahmadinejad, a man who has repeatedly denied the Holocaust and has numerous political prisoners executed, then spent time with Obama. Fars reproduced the article on his website on Friday alongside its usual stories about advances in Iranian military technology and condemnation of Israel. The Iranian version omitted the Onion's description of Ahmadinejad as a man who has repeatedly denied the Holocaust, as has numerous political prisoners executed. Fars appeared to have taken the story down about 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. In a statement on its website on Monday, Fars acknowledged the error, but also listed a string of blunders by Western media outlets, including the New York Times and the BBC. All media, at least those who know, like BBC, CNN, etc., have had many goofs, the statement said. It also said that they believe that the Onion story was true. So it goes on a little bit more of basically citing that in April 2011 error by the New York Times that was accidentally republished as a spoof from the Onion in an article about teen magazine Tiger Beat. So, what's your take on that, Arnold? Are you still there?
Yeah. I'm still here, Tom. Sorry about that. I was falling asleep about that, but what was that story again? Other than the Onion and Obama?
Actually, no, I'm not gonna talk about it, Arnold. You just missed the whole point of it. So you must have slept on it. So I'm not gonna go through it again. So if you wanted to, you're gonna have to Google search Iran apologizes for citing Onion spoof Obama poll as fact. So you're just gonna have to look up that story for yourself. Sorry, Arnold.
God, man. Oh, so why can't you tell the story again? Come on, Tom. Do it now.
I'm I'm sorry, Arnold, but I can't say that story again because we are pretty much out of time for this week here on the Darthe Retro Podcast. I'd like to thank Arnold Schwarzenegger for his thoughts and contributions for this podcast, and we will hopefully see you again soon, perhaps maybe next month or so, Arnold. So I will say to you, adios.
Yeah, see you later, Tom. Adios. And say hi to Sean for me. Hi, Sean. How you doing, big boy?
All right. So now that's pretty much out of the way. A little bit some news to talk about. I will be doing another episode of this podcast just in time for the Major League Baseball playoffs to start. I will be talking about that. So I'm definitely pretty excited for it. So definitely look for a new episode to be posted on Friday. I'll be taping that next episode on Thursday, and this episode will be posted tomorrow, Wednesday, October 3rd. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks, or a couple days, excuse me, a couple days. I'd like to thank Arnold Schwarzenegger to once again take a few moments of his time to talk to us here in the Darthe Retro Podcast headquarters. So I will see you all in a couple days. Later.